Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. The MotoGP preseason is coming to a close with the final official test at Thailand's Chang International Circuit on 12 to 13 February. This marks the last opportunity for teams to fine-tune their bikes before the 2025 season kicks off at the same venue on February 28, March 2nd. However, reigning world champion Jorge Martin and Fabio Di Giannantonio will miss the test due to injuries sustained in Sepang. Ducati faces a crucial decision at the upcoming Buriram test, whether to commit to their new 2025 engine or stick with last season's proven package. With factory riders Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia testing both options, the team's championship hopes could hinge on making the right call. Pramac Yamaha's Jack Miller has expressed his growing confidence with the Yamaha M1 after a productive Sepang MotoGP test. The Australian, who is adjusting to his fourth different manufacturer in the Premier class, says the bike already feels like home. Yamaha team manager Mio Marigali has reflected on the progress made during the Sepang MotoGP test, describing it as a positive step forward. With Yamaha working hard to close the gap to the front, Marigali also discussed their new approach to testing, including the role of Augusto Fernandez as a wildcard rider for 2025. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Following the crucial Sepang test, where teams gathered valuable data, MotoGP heads to Buriram for the last round of preseason preparations. This two-day test will provide riders and manufacturers a final chance to evaluate their machines before the opening Grand Prix of the season. The Chang International Circuit will host all factory and test riders, with the exception of Jorge Martin and Fabio Di Giannantonio, who are recovering from injuries. Trackhouse Raul Fernandez remains a question mark, though he is expected to participate. The Thailand test will follow a single daily schedule across both days. In Spain, track action begins early in the morning, running continuously for over 8 hours. The final 15 minutes of each session will be reserved for practice starts. Unlike race weekends, the Buriram test will not be broadcast live, as Dorna does not provide TV coverage for preseason testing. However, fans can stay updated in real time through MotoGP live timing, available for €24.99 for the full winter session. The Buriram test is the final chance for teams to assess their 2025 machines before the real action begins. With crucial data still to be gathered, all eyes will be on how the riders adapt before the season opener. Stay tuned for more updates as MotoGP 2025 nears its long-awaited start. As Ducati enters the final preseason test in Thailand, all eyes are on their engine decision. The reigning Constructors' Champions must choose between the 2024 engine, which dominated last season with 19 wins out of 20, or the new 2025 version, which still has question marks. Marquez, who is beginning his first season with Ducati, emphasized the importance of caution, noting that any decision made now will be locked in for 2 years. It's not only an engine, it's always a package of small things. The engineers will analyze everything, but we need to be super clear, super sure, that the 2025 engine is much better, and at the moment we don't know. So we need to wait. Quote from Marquez. Marquez believes that Ducati must balance ambition with practicality, especially when they already have the best bike on the grid. Francesco Bagnaia, the reigning MotoGP champion, sees both sides of the argument. While he acknowledges that the GP24 is still a top-tier machine, he also believes that Ducati must continue progressing. However, he admitted that the 2025 engine still needs work. The GP24 is a fantastic machine and it's working super well. But it's already been one season that we are using it. The GP25 engine, the power delivery is fantastic, but it's still missing something. So, it's not an easy choice. Quote from Bagnaia. Bagnaia remained tight-lipped when asked whether a less-than-stellar time attack at Sepang was done using the 2025 engine, keeping Ducati's internal discussions under wraps. Ducati Lenovo team manager Davide Tardazzi echoed Marquez's cautious stance, revealing that, after analyzing the data from Sepang, the balance is currently tipping towards keeping the 2024 engine. The 2025 engine has really good potential, but the rules force us to be conservative because this engine must be used for 2 years. So at this moment, the balance is a bit more towards the 2024 than the 2025. But the last decision will be taken in Thailand. Quote from Tardazzi. With just 2 days of testing left in Buriram, Ducati is under pressure to finalize their decision. The engineers have a tough call: stick with what they know or take a leap of faith with the still developing 2025 package. Ducati's engine decision could define their 2025 season. With Marquez urging caution and Bagnaia pushing for progress, the team must weigh risk versus reward. The final verdict will come at Buriram. Will Ducati bet on the future, or will they play it safe with their title-winning machine? Jack Miller is no stranger to adapting to new machinery, having previously ridden for Honda, Ducati, and KTM. Now back with Pramac Yamaha for the 2025 season, he has found the transition to the M1 surprisingly smooth. Following a difficult initial test with the Yamaha at Barcelona last November, Miller showed notable improvement in Sepang. He was consistently inside the top 10 on the first 2 days before finishing the final day in 12th. Speaking about his adaptation to the Yamaha, Miller highlighted the natural feel of the bike. "I feel good. I sit on the bike now and rolling out in the morning. I feel I'm on my bike, which is nice after 5 days already to feel like that." Quote from Miller. Miller explained that the ergonomics of the M1 suited him well, with fewer discomforts compared to previous bikes he has ridden. Despite a small crash at Turn 4 during a time attack on the final day, Miller's overall performance in Sepang was encouraging. His main focus now is refining his corner exit performance, which he sees as a key area for improvement ahead of the next test in Thailand. "Braking's really good, mid-corner is quite strong. It's just mid-corner to exit. My connection between releasing the brakes has gotten shorter, but it can get better." Miller pointed out that Yamaha's unique throttle characteristics require some adjustment, particularly in fast direction changes like turns 5 and 6. The team is already working on modifications to the throttle to give him a better feel in drive areas. With the Buriram test coming up, Miller remains optimistic about further progress. He believes small refinements in throttle response and acceleration will help him unlock more potential from the Yamaha. "The guys are working on something for Thailand, just to have a little bit more throw in the throttle tube. The increments are a little bit too short for my liking to keep it in the drive window." Miller is confident that, with a few more adjustments, he can further improve his feeling on the bike and be ready to challenge at the front once the 2025 season begins. Jack Miller's adaptation to the Yamaha M1 appears to be progressing well, with the Australian feeling at home on his new machine. As MotoGP heads to Thailand for the next test, Miller will be looking to build on his strong start and fine-tune the areas that need improvement. With a few more tweaks, he could be a real contender in 2025. The first official test of the year in Sepang was crucial for Yamaha as they continue their push to regain competitiveness in MotoGP. Speaking to GP1, Mio Marigali expressed satisfaction with the team's work, highlighting improvements across multiple areas. "We didn't miss anything and, at least looking at the times and everything else, I would say that the situation is positive." Quote from Marigali. Fabio Quartararo ended the test third after a strong time attack, while Jack Miller also showed promising signs of adaptation to the M1. More importantly, Marigali noted that Yamaha had significantly reduced the gap to the fastest riders compared to last season. One of the key changes for Yamaha this season is having 4 riders on the M1, something Marigali believes is already paying off. "We have absolutely accelerated the working method. When it came time to test certain things, 3 riders approved it, the 4th didn't need to test it. If 3 riders didn't give the okay, we moved on. This speeds up development and directs the engineers. By sharing data and feedback more effectively, Yamaha hopes to make quicker advancements throughout the season. A major part of Yamaha's strategy involves test rider Augusto Fernandez, who will participate in 6 wildcard races in 2025. Marc confirmed that Fernandez has already shown promise, but his main role will be extensive testing rather than outright lap time performance. We could certainly have him doing the dirty work and use Crutchlow and Dovey instead for other things. Augusto will do the racing. With Yamaha increasing its wildcard presence, Marc admitted that the test team structure needs refining to handle the expanded workload. He emphasized the need for greater efficiency and responsiveness in how testing is managed. Yamaha's 2025 MotoGP project is beginning to take shape, with encouraging signs from the Sepang test and a more structured approach to development. As the team heads to Thailand for the next round of testing, all eyes will be on whether these improvements can translate into race-winning performance when the season begins. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.